Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Torrential Tom. I am your host, Torrential Tom. So I am here to give you all a quick update on the major nor'easter heading our way for tomorrow night, Monday, and even into Tuesday. A long-term event coming our way. As we always do, here's our current weather map, and as you can see, all the precipitation right now in the middle of our country, that is our weather maker for tomorrow through Tuesday, as all this energy from this low pressure system moves to a low pressure that'll be forming off the coast and will be moving up the coast. Here's a look at our current United States watches and warnings. Everything here is associated with the storm that I just circled in the previous slide. Also is associated with the storm obviously coming our way. So all the purple are advisories, the pinks are your winter storm warnings, and then the lighter blue, or the darker blue, colors are your winter storm watches. A closer zoomed in look at our local area, and most of New Jersey is actually under a winter storm warning, which is the pink. The winter storm watches are for Long Island, New York City, northern Jersey, and all of Connecticut and southern or southeastern New York. This is a map of our atmosphere. This is the 500 millibar level. So you're talking about 3.5 miles up into the atmosphere from the surface. And this is our vorticity map, which is showing us where we have our spins and our stronger spins in the atmosphere, our waves of low pressure. And here is our low pressure system that is in the Midwest. And you can see there's a bit of a wave or a dip or a trough in our atmosphere there in our jet stream. And then off to the side, you can see an energy starting to form off the coast of North Carolina. All of the energy that you see here associated with this low pressure system will soon be transferring off to this low pressure as it strengthens and moves up the coast. In saying that, we're going to compare our two usual models, our GFS American model and our European model, to see what they are saying at the moment regarding the track and the amounts of snowfall for our area. We're going to start with the American model, the GFS. This is Sunday early evening, so around 6 p.m. tomorrow evening. Our low pressure will be sitting in lower or southwestern Ohio, northern Kentucky, and our low pressure system off the coast is starting to form. So if you look closely, you can see the isobars of this low pressure system starting to kind of break up. It's not a fully closed low pressure system, which means that it is starting to transfer its energy off to the off to the North Carolina coast here. And you can see the stronger precipitation there off the coast, all rain, but that'll strengthen and move up the coast as we move through time here. But in saying that, with the low that is currently formed, that storm, that energy is already starting to bring heavy snow into Pennsylvania, most of New Jersey by 6 p.m. tomorrow. We move into Monday, 6 a.m., so through midnight, the snow, for the most part, is already starting to snow or already starting to fall very lightly. By 6 a.m., we are starting to see some very heavy bands of snow in central New Jersey. Over here, we have a darker band over from North New Jersey through central Pennsylvania, and we have lighter to moderate snow falling in southeastern New York. As we move Monday noontime, that low pressure system is remaining exactly where it is. So over a 6-hour span, you have the low pressure off the coast of Virginia or off the Delmarva Peninsula right here. And then you go 6 hours later, it is still sitting in that same area. So it's sitting there and it's bringing all this Atlantic Ocean moisture with it for a prolonged period of time. So that means those heavy bands of snow, that energy will continue to band over most of the same areas for hours. You're talking 1 to 2 inches of snow per hour bands sitting in one region. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, you have central Pennsylvania, again, very heavy band of snow showing in this model, and then some lighter to moderate snow in our local area. We move on to Monday early evening now, still off the Delmarva Peninsula, not moving. So that moisture continues to wrap around it and continues to come into the same areas. So again, central Pennsylvania, heavy band of snow. Our area, heavier snow has now moved in. Monday midnight, again, same thing, off the Delmarva Peninsula, not moving much. And if you're wondering why it's not moving much, it's because of this high pressure system here that finally has moved into our screen. It wasn't showing before, so now I'm going to show it. It's over here. So if you could look closely, you see all these lines of pressure very tightly together. That is why we're going to see very strong winds. This high pressure is suppressing this storm to the south. It cannot move out north. It cannot move out south. It also cannot move out east right now. It is blocked. It is where it is, and it's going to be there for a few hours until something pushes it out. And then that something will be a wave that's going to come through this area that eventually pushes this storm out of the way. But in saying that, here's your high pressure suppressing. You can see how close these lines or these isobars are. That is your strong winds. That is going to be your 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts. That is what's going to cause us to possibly have blizzard conditions along the coast, maybe a little further inland. Tuesday, 6 a.m. Again, that low pressure now finally shifting a little further to the east, but still off of the Delmarva Peninsula. Still rotating moisture in, kind of drying out a little bit, but still rotating that moisture in. So some moderate snowfall still falling here in our local area. You go into Tuesday early evening, 6 p.m., and you still have some leftover showers as the storm is finally starting to move further to the east. Some wraparound snow showers. This is where you can start clearing your driveway, start clearing the streets, and not have to worry about too much more of an accumulating snowfall. All that heavier snowfall is now moved into New England. So let's see what the European model has to say, and if it has a similar track to the American model. So this is Sunday early evening, and we saw that the GFS or American model had the low pressure a little further to the west at this point, but the same general idea. You have the large shield of precipitation, and most of New Jersey already starting to snow. You move 6 a.m. Monday, that low pressure system is now forming off the coast of Delaware and Virginia, maybe a little further east than what the American model was showing, but you still have your band of snowfall here, and you have maybe a bit more mixing with this model as you move into central New Jersey, which could limit snowfall totals. And I will go into more details about that tomorrow as we finalize the forecast. But that could be a problem for your snowfall totals from South New Jersey, Central Jersey, Long Island, maybe even into Manhattan a little bit. You move Monday noon, and you can see there is a large band of very heavy snow here. With this model, this model is a little further to the north. The American model was here at this point in time, which is rotating that heavy band a little further to the south. But with this model, it's a little further north. That band of heavier snow is further north to northern Jersey, central Jersey, New York City, Pennsylvania, and parts of extreme southeastern New York and southern Connecticut. They are in that heavier band of snow. That heavy snow continues through Monday early evening now. So you're talking about almost 24 straight hours of snow already for most of Pennsylvania, most of New Jersey, and then about 18 straight hours now for northern Jersey, New York City, and southeastern New York. We move into Monday. This is now midnight. So this is all day Monday, 24 straight hours, snow. That low pressure has not moved much. It's maybe a little further west than the GFS model. So that's why we have rain showing for most of New York City, Long Island. We have mixing now coming into northern New Jersey, central New Jersey, most of Connecticut, southeastern New York. And then we go into 6 a.m. and the Europeans sitting in that same spot with the low pressure, rotating these snow bands in. And we're still seeing some light accumulating snow by 6 a.m. Tuesday. So now you're talking about a 30 to 36 hour time period of snowfall straight with this system. And now we move into Tuesday early evening. The storm is basically sitting in the same spot, but most of the energy has now been transferred to a low pressure that's going to be forming out here. Off New England, a lot of heavier bands of snow forming over there and giving them close to blizzard conditions as well. So what can we expect? The GFS snowfall forecast, as I pointed out, most of central Pennsylvania, very heavy snow. You're talking areas here showing 30 inches of snow, and then other areas in the darker grain showing 20 to 24 inches. Our area, for the most part, talking 10 to 12 to 16 inches. How does that compare to the European model? European model is maybe a little further to the north and east with the heavier snowfall. So the GFS had the heavier bands showing here in Pennsylvania and central Pennsylvania. Now you're showing it closer to Philadelphia with this. And you're also showing another heavy band of snow from central New Jersey through northern New Jersey into southeastern New York into Long Island. So this model showing between 15 to 18 inches of snow in those lighter reds here. But again, the European model was also showing a kind of warmer setup. So most of this should be cut down a little bit because of the rain and the mixing that it was showing. Early on, the snow will be accumulating quickly because we've had very cold weather. The ground is cold. It's going to take the snow. And also you're going to have, it's not going to be that heavy heart attack snow at first. It's going to be that very light, fluffy snowflake that kind of just piles on top of each other in a very neatly manner, and it should accumulate very quickly. We move on to one more model now, the Canadian snowfall forecast, and this one's just a fun look, but it's also given us the same general idea. So the Canadian model kind of overdoes things on a normal basis. So it's showing most of southeastern Pennsylvania, again with the bullseye. So that's almost agreed upon among these three models. This one's showing 30 plus inches of snow in these areas. But again, in our area, it's showing between 12 to 18 inches. And it's also showing that mix out here in Long Island, and it's showing that mix from central New Jersey down south. So this one, a little different from the European model, which was showing a changeover to rain and sleet in some areas, but it wasn't cutting down the forecast totals. So in summary, most of New Jersey under a winter storm warning. Everywhere else in our local area is under a winter storm watch. Moderate snow is coming, and it's almost a guarantee for our entire local area for a prolonged period of time. And by prolonged, I mean at least 24 straight hours of moderate snow coming into our area. The chances are increasing for 10 plus inches of snow for most of the area, depending on where that low sets up and how close it moves to our area, and where that changeover to rain may occur if it occurs. Blizzard conditions, very possible with 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Blizzard conditions are 3 straight hours of 35 mile per hour wind gusts or more on a sustained basis, and then whiteout conditions. So again, I will come back here tomorrow, posting another video, updating you, giving my official Torrential Tom snowfall totals, timing of the storm, updated warnings, whatever it may be. Like this video, subscribe to my videos, and please follow me on Twitter for any updates. I will try to post some live videos, maybe on Twitter, maybe on YouTube during the storm. So please follow me on Twitter, follow me on YouTube for updates. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Have a good night.